So based on the quotation which you have which you have already sought, by using email and what do you call, generally people are working with the WhatsApp with the suppliers to have instant rate for a product. So you can have rate and you can get the approval on it, and then you can raise a purchase order for a particular supplier by pushing the PR into a purchase order. So as soon as I push this button, so this PR is going to turn into a purchase order. You see, I'm here in buying module, working with the purchase order document, and the whole PR is just landed in the whole PR item table, and the information which I have typed in PR document has just landed here in this purchase order form. So now I have to work with the rates, because I have to book outside party, so I have to book the rates as well. So first I have to choose the supplier or master records which are uniform for around the company. And for example, which supplier you want me to book here? I mean, what is the name of the supplier?
Can I check Finis? Finis. Finis.
For example, you don't find your supplier here, no problem. Your system is also offering you a solution to provide to create a supplier instantly. So I'm creating a supplier instantly here in here in this instance. So FINIIS.
IS.
And what is the full name of the any supplier?
Finis Inc. Inc.
Financing. So is this a company or a local company, or what is it? Is it
International. International company.
All suppliers.
a local company?
No, international company.
Okay, international.
All of them.
Okay, no problem. So it is a company or individual, so it's going to be company. So as soon as you just fill these mandatory fields which are tagged here as asterisk, because these are mandatory, so your supplier is created.
How about the contact details? It's not.
You can go to supplier. For example, if I click
Yeah.
here, I'll click. If I click here, I'll go to the supplier master. You see, I'm here in buying module on supplier form. So supplier form is very descriptive and very complete form. You can write supplier name here. You can also add up supplier contacts here. The contact address and the contact person, and you can add up multiple addresses for a single supplier. For example, if this supplier is based on two different locations, for example in two different cities, the two different addresses can be added here as well with two different contact persons. So you can add up contact, and you can also set the credit limit. You can block it. You can block a supplier if if you find it not worthy enough to work with. You can work in different in multi currencies as well. If you want any, if you are working in an import environment in international business, you can also work with a supplier in multi currencies. And you can also add up a particular payable account with it. So as soon as you will you will record like a particular GL account map with this supplier, so that each and every transaction can be booked by using that particular chart of account. So this is how supplier are generally made. So I'll go back to purchase order. So you can go back and forth by using these buttons. Your information and your data will not be lost. For example, I was working with the purchase order, and you see my whole purchase order is already there. It's not lost, since we have just went to see the supplier form here. So
Okay, I have another question because going back to the purchase order, if there is a if there is a if they have a request of a product that it's not available in the system, in the ERP system, can they still adjust it and add it? Just the same as create a new supplier.
Yes, for example, I'll go, I'll add up another item here, and you see there is no item which I want to request it, but the
Yeah.
item does not exist here. So
Yes.
as soon as you type the name of the item and it does not exist here, so you see the system is also
Create new items. Okay.
proposing with the item. So you can instantly create a new item here by saving here. This is a quick entry form, and you can go to check the full form by pushing this button. This is quick entry form. Yani if you're in a hurry, you just fill the mandatory fields and you can go further.
Okay. Is there like a photo that you can add, like for a reference of the product?
Yes, sir. The item master is very very well designed form. Even the most designed form of the item, most designed form in the system is the item form. You see, I am here in the item form. So here you can,
Here it is.
yeah,
Okay.
here you can upload the picture of the item. You see.
Okay.
So I'll go back.
Yeah,
I'll
but when we upload the picture, it will look for the purchaser, for the schools, for example, that they need. For example, on the goggles, every model we link it. We can link it for a picture. How it will looks like in the purchaser order.
Yeah, you can the picture which you add up on the item master.
Show us an example, for example.
Yeah. I'm showing you this. I'm here on the purchase order form. You see, I'm here on the purchase order form. As soon as I've saved the document, the items are there, and if this item has a picture, for example, I'm going to just add up a random picture here, and this is going to reflect on the purchase order print format. So I'll just I pull a picture here just for the sake of
Yeah.
yeah, just for the sake of example, I'm tag up this picture here. So this item which I've just add a picture here, the picture is in there. So this item is being used in purchase order. So if I click on here in the print button of the purchase order, this picture is also going to be printed. So you see, this is the purchase order print format is look like this, and there is
Yeah,
no
but it doesn't show the
yeah,
picture in the.
there is no images in here. So I'm going to add up I'm going to add the image in this format. So the print format can also be editable. Yani you can you can do it. You can create your print format by your own, working on this interface. So you see I'm here on this print format builder setup. These are the all fields which which can be used to compose your own print format. So let's see, I'm here on this item table. This is the item table, and in here I have to I have to check this image field. This field is going to be,
You took us deep technical now.
so this
I'm not going to change on the pixel and huh?
yeah, maybe you can say it, yani but we will do it for you. Yani the once
Yes.
this thing has to be fixed for once, and we will
Yeah,
do it.
fix from your end, yani.
Yeah,
That's
fix
no.
for just for once we will do it for you, and you can then start using it.
Right.
So this was the material request, and this was the purchase order. Yeah, just give me a minute. You see, we have to remove some columns, so that
Oh, so okay, let's complete. Write it as a note, so we'll correct it later.
yeah, no
Okay?
problem. You see, I have to set the the column width because there are so many column in here. So I have to remove one column so that this thing can fit in for the image field. So
Okay, right.
you can do it, Yani. You can do it.
Yeah,
We can do it for yourself. No.
yeah. We will
Right.
make a one permanent for you. Okay, which you
Yeah,
will
write it
do.
down.
Yeah.
So we need to make it appeal in the PDF or later. Okay.
Okay, okay.
We'll do it for you, sir. So this is the we were working with the purchase order, and I was composing purchase order for you, but triggering from material request. So you see, I'm here on the purchase order, and this PR is already tagged up here on the dashboard. So this is the link is already there. We did not remove the link. We are creating link with within the documents. So the PR is linked up with the work with the purchase order, and now the each and every information is just landed here from the previous document, and now I have to just give the rate. So what is going to be the rate of this item per piece?
You mean price wise?
Yeah, price, selling price, purchasing price.
100 real, for example.
100 real for per piece. And how much is this for one piece?
80.
So 18. So, so this comes to 5,200 reals for these two items for this much quantity, and now you have to work with the taxes. So you want me to apply taxes for it? Yani this thing.
Yeah, sure. Sound.
So this 15% VAT is going to be applied on it, and you see this 5,200 will be will be charged for 15% of the VAT, and this tax is going to be booked in a purchase invoice stage for this VAT. But since the purchase order is a document where you are binding an outside party, so this document has to be clearly very much elaborative and descriptive and informative, so that there should not be a confusion. For example, the clear with the clear name of party, any supplier, required date, and stores and currencies, and the item names along with quantity and rates, and then the taxes should be very clear, so that the outside party should not be having any confusion delivering and working with you. So let's go further for
Excuse me, but based on what you put the rates, this one, the amounts here.
this about.
No, the rate here. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I was asking you that how much this we are purchasing this item from this Finis Incorporation, and this 44. I mean, this is the unit of measurement. I mean, this animal head swim cap.
yes,
One piece for how much? How much you are going to pay for it?
the cost price for the items.
Yeah,
Per
yeah,
item.
yes.
Okay. Why do we need this amount? Is it only for us to value the quotation, or
So this is purchase order document. Someone has raised a purchase within house, and you have checked that there is no stock available within the company. So you have to go out and you have to go purchase and engage in a supplier for it, so that you have to award a purchase order to a supplier, so that he can produce you the quantities of the items required.
okay? So we are putting here the price of the quantity, so we can bargain the supplier to give us for this amount of price.
Sir, generally, you see, generally the request for quotation or supplier quotation element is being done on the email or maybe on the WhatsApp, generally, because this is kind of feasible. Otherwise, your supplier do not have the time, and generally everywhere supplier do not pay attention and cannot be asked to come on the system to put the rates. Any system, you see, ERP has the functionality where you can ask your supplier to log in and insert the rate for each item, but he is not going to agree for it. You cannot push your supplier to come online and use the ERP to for supplier quotation. So you have to work, you have to make it easy for yourself, and then you can work with work on your email with the supplier, and then you can finalize the rate and negotiate it, and then once you are done with the finalization and negotiations, then you can put the rate here.
Okay, we'll see the whole process and then we'll see. I think Anwar, he has a question he
Hi,
raised.
Hassan. Myself Anwar.
Hello, Anwar.
Hi. So first, I will explain what I understand, so that may help others also.
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
It's like once we create the material request,
Yes.
Okay.
it will directly go to the purchase department, right? The request.
Oh, the material request, I'll show you. The material request is here, and
Yep.
once the end user is going to trigger this document.
For example, this material request is done from one of our branch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of your
Our
staff,
branch. Yes.
one of your branch is going to trigger this document, and the another
Okay.
one, there is an approval system, and there is the other guy is going to check this document and to see it either these stocks are available here in the system or not. For example, if the available quantity is reflecting here, for example, if the 10 pieces are here and someone is requiring 44 pieces, he can edit it to 34, and he can minus that available quantity here, because that
Even this is done from the branch.
even it is done from branch, because there are two, unless you press the submit button, this document will stays editable.
Okay,
So
fine. What I'm talking about is the step after the submission of a material request. It will be directly go to the purchase department, right?
yes, the notification email will be triggered, and the
Okay.
recipient.
And once the purchase department receive the material request, they can go to the suppliers. Like for example, animal head swim cap. They can search for any suppliers and get the pro forma invoice or any quotation from them.
Yes, yeah, you can do it.
And once we get that, we'll upload the price in the purchase order. Is
Yes,
this the
that's
step?
that is what you're required to do. And
Okay.
you can create supplier quotation within the system, but this is going to be a lengthy process, and you cannot even push your supplier to come online to insert the rates. So it is advisable that you do it on email or WhatsApp or whatever you feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay. That's what I mean. Once we get the material request, we can email or WhatsApp to the suppliers. That's okay.
That's
Yeah,
okay. No
exactly.
problem.
Yep.
So we are, Anwar, you're right. So we were here on the material request, and by using that particular material request, I have created a work order and award this work order to this particular Finis Incorporation supplier. So
Okay.
I'm not done working with the purchase order, because I've just saved it. I did not submit it. So you can even engage two guys to complete a work order, purchase order. For example, one guy has to draft it and to compose it, to check and work with the rates and quantities and taxes and discounts and payment terms, and then the other guy who can approve this document can come online and check on the whole document and then press this submit button. So if you
Okay.
want us to do like this way, we can control this access control for each and every user. So if this
Now it will be under the purchasing person or Sultan. He will be handling these
yeah,
purchase orders.
okay, no problem. Sultan will be the only guy who's going to working with the purchase orders.
Yes.
And does is there any approval mechanism exist for purchase order document, or I mean anybody has to sign it
Yeah. We haven't decided yet, but Muhammad, I think he will be there
okay,
in
no
the
problem.
workshop.
So Yani, if you want us
Because
to,
usually now what the workflow goes, they do the request on our application, the Minimi, and then it goes to Muhammad, he approves it, and
yeah,
then it goes to the storekeeper or
yes.
to the purchaser to
Ye-
buy the items.
Yes, sir. That's what That's what I was about to talk about, and the workflows condition functionality is available here in this system. And if you want us to map two, three, or four users or whatever
Yeah.
to this particular document or any form, we can set up a workflow for each and every form, so that by those three guys, if and in a condition that those three guys has to press the approval button or submit button for a particular form, and then the form will be completed and move forward for a printing and move forward for a
Yeah,
audit.
because also the finance approvals for like the purchase items, where that would be on the map, on the process map.
So the workflow is going to cover the purchase order cycle, and then the buying cycle will go along for the goods to come and receive at the stores, and the storekeeper is going to receive the GR, create the GRN, and then the purchase invoice is going to be the document where accounting department is going to be involved and working with the payments section.
Yes, but the approval of purchasing the products, where that would be on the process map.
You want anybody from finance department to approve purchase order?
What we do, we have a budget for that. Yani, if it's below the budget, if it's under the budget, it will be purchased without. But if it's not in the budget, it has to go through approvals.
So you see the workflow mechanism will serve the purpose, but we have the budget as well. For example, I'll show you the budget. You see the system is generally working with the item, so item is going to be booked booked in a GL finally. You see this purchasing cycle will end up in accounting documents, while we will be recording purchase invoice in payment documents, and the GL account will be hit. So each GL account can be controlled by setting up a budget for a particular GL account or a cost center. For example, if I for a particular branch, I can make a cost center for it, and then for this particular branch, for example, at this particular branch, I can control a particular account for like purchasing account, purchase expense, any retail or purchase expense, like I can control your purchases by setting a budget for this much. If I set 50,000 reals for retail purchase for this particular branch, each and every invoice will follow applicable. You see the applicable on purchase order check. So if I do check on a purchase order, and if this thing is exceed, system is going to stop it, or maybe warn it. This will just throw a message, but this will not stop. Anyone can just ignore the message and carry on recording and purchasing and awarding a purchase order. But if I choose this thing, system will not even will not make.
Okay, so we will not have the right approvals.
Yeah,
if it's not in the budget.
So we have the budget control. If you set a budget, I'll train you how to use it, and then
Okay, good. So this is Anwar. I think we need to do it, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. So
this is it will be under the finance.
Yeah, under the finance.
Yeah.
So Anwar, do you have any other question? Anybody of you have any question in mind? You can go ask.
Hassan, I have one doubt. Once we submit the this purchase order, will it be reflect on the stock, on the system, on the ERP?
I mean, what exactly the meaning of the reflection?
Currently the stock is 0.
Yeah.
Once we submit the purchase order,
yes,
will it reflect on the stock? Will it increase, or it will be done by the end party?
Yeah, so let me submit this purchase order, and I'll show you where this quantity is going to be reflecting, which is in fact on the purchase order. It's not yet received. It's just ordered. It is about to be received. It is expected. So let's see.
And I have a question just before that, Hashan, the quantities that we ordered, and like here, these quantity, we have animal heads 1 cap, and the request came from the schools, let's say, from the store, animal heads 1 cap, and also cartoons 1 caps. Those products are from different suppliers. This is one supplier and the other one is different supplier. How can we manage that, like into different purchase orders?
Yeah, you see, if these two cannot be awarded to this guy, this supplier, so you have to remove it. There has to be two different purchase order has to be raised based on one PR. So system can do
Okay.
it. Any system can do it, but we are presuming that these two item belongs to this guy, and
Yeah.
we can award it.
Yes. So we have to do like two purchase order
For
to
one,
each supplier.
yeah, for two purchase order for one purchase request. So, Anwar, your question was how this PO is going. These PO quantities, these quantities are on PO, not yet received and about to receive or expected. So, where this thing is going to be reflecting.
Yep.
So, you go to stock, and once you go to stock and you go to stock balance, stock projected quantity report. And this report, there are multiple reports, but this report is going to reflect. You see those two items are already populated here in this store, and this is reflecting that these quantities are about to are in ordered quantity. You see, yani this is a report belongs to stock module. Any storekeeper can have access on it. Even I can give access to purchaser or a finance guy, and he can see to it that you see this system is in fact defining the quantity in a very dynamic way. For example, this quantity is called actual quantity, which is stock in hand. This quantity is called plan quantity, which is going to be based on work order, for production. This quantity is requested quantity, which is in fact on the material request document. But since we have created this document and then lead up to purchase order, so now this is order quantity. This quantity is no more on a requested level. So you see, I have created purchase order, and this report is reflecting that these pieces are expected, and these pieces and of these two items are ordered for this much quantity and are expected. So if I go to item level, for example, if I click on the item, I'll system will take me to the item. You see, item is here, and system is reflecting that this item is already used for a single purchase request, and then this based on this purchase a PO is raised. And now you can also see the stock levels here. You can also see the stock levels here. You see, the system is also reflecting that there is no quantity in hand, but 44 pieces are about to be received and are ordered and are in waiting quantity. So this is there are two ways to check the stock levels of PO quantity, but there is another report. You see, and I'll show you that how you can create a custom report for yourself. For example, we were here in the buying module and we were working with the purchase order. I'm here on the list view. You see, this is called list view. This is the index view of the each document each form which you are working. I'm here on the purchase order, and if I click in here, I can go to the report element. And if I click in here, based on this particular document of purchase order, the reports which belongs to purchase order are already populated here. And you can get all reports based on purchase orders by accessing each one here. But I can also create a custom report here. And now you have to understand that you are standing on a purchase order, and there is one document behind this document which is called purchase request. So you just have to make sure keep a picture in your mind that where you are standing, and then you can pull particular fields from those forms to create a custom report of your own. For example, I'm here on a purchase order, and now I can if I want, I can create I can add up more information in this report. For example, this is a purchase order report, purchase order number, supplier name, company name, date and amount, and status, and percentage of receipt, and percentage of billing is also coming here. And if I want another column, another field to be populated here, I can use this button, add column, and now these fields are coming from two different documents or forms. The one is a purchase order, and the another one is material request. So for
Question, can we, I have a question. Can we add a column, where is the order pending with?
where is the order pending with?
Yes, for example, I'm one of the colleagues, I'm one of the employees in one of the schools. So I put the request. Is there any way on the columns it shows where is the order pending with? For example, where is it pending with the purchaser? Is it pending with the supplier? Is it pending on the bookkeeper?
Any yes, you can do it here. And since we as I was talking about, that we are going to set a workflow for you to that workflow statuses is going to reflect the way you want it here, yani.
Okay.
This status is going to be overwritten by the workflow. So the workflow status will be reflecting here, either it is pending with the purchaser, either it is pending with the supplier, or either it is completed, submitted, approved, and now it is going to be received and billed. So since there is no workflow, so this is the standard status, but this status can be overwritten by using a workflow for each form. So I have the workflow, yani I'll show you the workflow. You see, I have the workflow built in the system, and I can create one for purchase order. You see this, it is saying that what is going to be the name of the workflow. So I said PO, and then the document type is going to be purchase order. So this purchase order is going to be used for this particular workflow. So those status, with the one which you were saying is going to be used in here. Yani I'll go and I'll write the state here. Action. Sorry, these are going to be the actions. Yani either it is pending, either it is pending with the. If I have to create it here, so this is going to be reflect on the stages on the list view of the particular document, so that you will know which document is pending with which person. So for example, pending with the purchaser. So this state is going to be reflecting like this. Then the next stage, and I'll set up the total the workflow for it, and this thing is going to be reflecting in here, which I was talking about earlier here. So you get to know that which document is pending with whom, or with which person. So I was explaining you the buying cycle. So we have created one material request, and then we have created a purchase order, and I've shown you that how those are linked up, and how purchase order is made, and how do you work with the quantities and rates, and then taxes, and then I can also set up a payment term for you. Yani this is going to be create aging as well by the time you will reach on the purchase invoice and accounting. So each and every kind of scenario is can be used. For example, you can also make an advance payment by using this purchase order. For example, if your supplier wants you to pay upfront something like 50%, you can create a payment by using this particular purchase order. And you do not need to raise purchase invoice first to create a payment. You can create a payment, and then later on, by the time supplier produces the invoice along with the GRN, any good receipt note, you can do it. You can create purchase invoice. First your GRN, then purchase invoice, and you can knock off your payment with the invoices, so that your aging and your general ledger can settle. So for this time, I think this is enough for you to understand that these two documents belongs to purchasing department the material request, like which is called purchase request if in a case of purchase, and then the purchase order. So I have to, I have explained you these two documents. I feel like that this is going to be enough for you for today, and then we will again plan another training, and then we will move forward. And do you have any questions, sir?
Yes, and still we have done the last step. After submitting the purchase order, the next one, we have to reflect this one in our stock. We haven't done this one.
Anwar, that's what I was saying. The purchase order is not going to affect, is not going to reflect in
Yes,
your
yes, I understand that. Once we submit the purchase order, what is the next step? That's what I'm.
Yeah, the storekeeper is about and expected to receive delivery, and
Okay.
that delivery is
Once we received,
yeah. This document is the GR, and then once you are done with the receipt, the accounting is going to require, since the purchase invoice and GRN comes along and together, you can receive purchase receipt, and this is going to affect your stock ledger and accounting ledger as well, because you are using perpetual inventory system. So stock ledger and accounting ledger will affect your GRN, and then you have to book purchase invoice and replicating supplier invoice, and then record a payment. And this
Yeah, but I think the question is how the job will be closed. What is the end phase of the job?
Yeah, actually, sir, we will start the next step from tomorrow. For today, these tools are enough for today training. If we train you further, maybe you will
Okay.
you will lose the other two things.
This is for today, right?
This is for today.
This is for today, yeah.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. This is for today, Anwar, and the rest thing which I'll elaborate you tomorrow, that how we are going to receive this PO, and then how we are going to record the payment and invoice for this supplier.
Yeah, and the effect of the ledger also we will cover tomorrow. Okay.
Question on the purchase phase. When you said the suppliers' payment methods, you said some suppliers request 100% payment, 50-50 upon other 50 upon delivery. Would the finance get any notification of this phase or no?
Yeah, basically, there are payment terms. Okay, if we make the template for payment terms, we can accountant or the purchaser can see the terms here.
No, they can see, but would they get a notification? So I order from a supplier, and the supplier requested 50% discount.
Yes, sir.
Would they get a notification so they prepare, or I should send them a budget request?
Yeah, I understand your question, sir. Based on payment terms and based on payment terms commitment that you have made with your suppliers, and the due date, based on these due dates, a report system is tabulating a report which I will show you tomorrow, and we can set up email notification of that team, that report, and that report will automatically will be emailed to the accounting guy on daily basis, so that he will get to know that though whichever payments are due on a particular date, or even we can start, we can give we can also set a time period before the due date. So then the email will trigger, and email will fall in inbox of that particular guy, and he will get notified that whichever payments are due, so he can start working on it, and he can plan those payments.
Okay.
Also, but I didn't see also the request for quotation.
That's what, sir, I was talking about earlier. I'll show you again. This is the material request document, and if this document is triggered, I'm sorry.
This is the one that you downloaded as a PDF.
You see the PR document, PR status has changed to ordered, because I may have made PO based on this PR. So you see, if you
how did we contact the supplier? In what, an email? What? Because I didn't see that point. I don't know if I missed it.
Yani you have those I'll show you the purchase order, You have to, there are two options available here on the purchase order as well, purchase order form. But you have to print it out along with your letterhead with the signatures, and then
Okay.
you can save and submit it. But you can use it this particular button here on this form, purchase order form, down here, because you see this comment section and
Yeah.
email button is on each and every form down here.
Okay.
And you can use it, you can just go ahead and compose an email by pushing this button on each and every form. So the subject line is the particular purchase order. You can, this email can auto populate the email address of the supplier, because we did not insert an email address in supplier master. So that is why Finis email is not reflecting here. Otherwise Finis email will automatically be populated here.
Okay.
So you can
Then we
just
will. Okay.
attach the purchase order, sign in and stamp purchase order, and then you can start composing a message here. You can also pull the template here, even those 2-3 lines which are generally written for a purchase order. These can auto populate here, and then you can send it.
Okay, and then send. Okay, if we want to send for a couple of suppliers to get like quotations.
Yeah, that is what is called RFQ, any request for quotation.
RFQ, yes. We didn't see RFQ today, right?
No.
No, I didn't show you because we while we were working with Anwar is there, and you see we were agreed upon that we are not going to use RFQ by using the system, because it's going to be complicated and you cannot even push your supplier to come online to insert the rates. So if there is a request for quotation, material request, there is a button. I'll show you the button. There is an option here. Yani you see the
Because
request
request of quotation, this is one of the things that we need to work on.
request for quotation and supplier quotation. You can also create here in the system, but you see you have to give access to this ERP to your supplier, so that he can log in and then he can insert the rate, and then the supplier quotation will auto populate here, and then you can use this supplier quotation to award a PO for a particular supplier. But this is going to be very lengthy process, and your supplier maybe will not be agree to log in into a system to insert a rate. Is he
Okay,
agree?
so if there's like a request that we have not ordered before, I will need to get like 3 suppliers quotations. Can you show us the process into this?
Yeah, no problem. You see, I have just created a PR for the same 2 items again, and I have just
Okay.
make it duplicate. It is on pending stage, so now I can create a supplier quotation by clicking on it. And if you are having a rate in in hand, you can just pick and choose your supplier. I'll show you something which is something going to be new here, which we did not talk about yet. You see, the rates are coming from the previous rates, from the previous orders, and from the last order which we have composed for this particular item. Any rates are based on items, not as compared to, or not based on supplier. So rate are regards to item. So it's not that this particular item is for 100 reals, and it's not going to affect, or it's not going to reflect if the supplier is changed. So the system is going to produce this 100 reals for this particular item regardless of supplier. So I'm creating a supplier quotation, and you have worked already with the supplier, and you have the rates. So you see the system is offering you that the last purchase rate of this particular item was 100 reals per piece, and you can this last purchase rate can also be comparatively pull into this particular table, so that you will have a complete idea that what exactly was the last rate, and what is going to be the current rate for which I'm booking the supplier.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. We still can use the link,
You see,
and
yeah.
if we
Just a minute, I'll show you. You know, you see, I'm creating a supplier quotation for this particular item. The last purchase rate was 100, the 100 reals per piece, and now I'm. This is editable, but this is not editable. You see, this is editable. This is current rate, and this is previous rate. So the supplier quotation is reflecting the current is is coming up with the last rate that you have purchased this item for 100 reals per piece. But now I'm creating another supplier quotation, and now I'm seeking a RFQ from this supplier, and he is quoting me again for this particular item as 120 reals per piece. So this is how you can work with a particular RFQ element, and this can turn into supplier into purchase order instantly by pushing a button. You see, just I push it this button, so this supplier quotation which we have composed with a new rate of 120 reals per piece, and the purchase order pay is made based on supplier quotation, and supplier quotation is already tagged up here on the dashboard of purchase order, 420 reals per piece.
okay, we'll see. We'll look into that later.
So you see the images here,
Yeah.
which you were talking about, earlier, that how this image is going to be reflecting in on the purchase order print format.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I need your header and footer so that I can place it here.
Okay.
For each document, can you produce us the header and footer of your company, a clear high image resolution JPG or PNG file, so that we can place it here in a header and for
Sure.
footer. Okay, sir. My name is Asan, and this was first contact that we made with you, and I trained you for buying module, where we have discussed purchase request document and purchase order document, and then I show you that how those two recording document reflecting in different reports, and we have discussed. We have taken some question answering as well. So, do you have anything and to ask, or we should plan tomorrow meeting?
Actually, from our side, whenever you see a new system, new something, you need to browse of it, you need to check, you need to do samples, go through it. I think if we can have, first of all, the video, and when we can have, when we can have an access, so just to browse through it.
Sir, send us the email addresses of the each name of the user, and we will create the user IDs for each one, and you can start browsing and using the system.
Yeah. Because whenever you use the system, you will figure out the questions more.
Yeah, no problem. This thing, the ERP journey, requires to go with very much highs and lows. It takes time, it takes effort. So we will, create user IDs for you, and you can go along checking and working on it. And there will be so many questions which you are about to ask us. And we know it because we do it on a daily basis. So the thing is, you send me an email, to Mazhar by writing the name of the person and email addresses of those, and we will, write you back with the user ID and password so that you can start using the system.
Plus, as we discussed also, the roadmap for the orders, the purchasing, the requests from the schools, this is what we required also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hassan, thank you very much for today. But if you can also send us the agenda of the training for tomorrow and the day after, the details of what we're gonna take and what we're gonna have.
Okay, sir.
That would be
I,
appreciated.
I,
With
I,
some details, yeah, so we can just read it out and we know what will be presented.
So, sir, my name is Hassan. As I told you earlier, I am the consultant. Mother is sitting along with me. We both are working in the same capacity, and we are taking care of your project. But I'm not aware who am I talking to. If you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself? If yani don't mind, at the end of the meeting, I need to know that who I was in fact talking to. I mean, just give me your name and department name.
Yes, sure. My name is Badr. I'm one of the co-owner. Mohammed Shariofi is co-owner and handling the purchasing, also purchasing department. Arwa Ajmi, she's the operation manager in Aquatats. Lena, I think, because she's the focal point. She's the HR and the focal point for this project. Sultan is the new purchasing guy. He is purchasing for all the products and stuff and materials. So he will be working a lot with you into this. And Anwar, he's an accountant and the company. There are some of the teams that I don't know if maybe Mazhar he met them, but they are not here today. So yeah.
So
So if you have any
thank you very
questions.
much, sir. We will continue. I am going to send you the two emails. One is for the users, and the another one is going to covering the agenda of the training. So
Yes.
you will be familiar with what we are about to do.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Actually, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, for users, we need the emails of every user and their role. What will be their role? Okay.
Sure. Well, maybe for now we'll do just the users that will use the system. We'll have one user maybe from the schools, and then we'll see the workflow process. Yeah, we'll figure out the workflow process first, and then we will share the emails.
Okay. Okay.
No problem. We can give full access to everybody initially, and then we can talk about later the access. Okay.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
ये इसको रिकॉर्डिंग बंद करो इसको यहाँ से